Sparky Cross. Hi, my name is Anna and I'm a singer.
And hi, my name is Peyton and I'm a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back with episode 2 of our new series, Getting to Know Ace. And we will be watching their first music video, Cactus, Sun and Jung. Before we get started, you may have noticed that our intro changed. It now includes Anna announcing that she's a singer and me telling everyone that I'm a dancer. That's just because we are starting a new series and we also have gotten a lot of new friends on this channel recently, and since we don't really advertise it as like singer reacts or dancer reacts, we just wanted to make sure that it was clear to everyone that when we give our comments, we do know what we're talking about.
But yeah, so from now on, for future videos on our channel, we will be saying that as our intro. But now, that being said, on to the actual video. We're reacting to Ace's debut today, Cactus, like Peyton said earlier. And just so y'all know too, we did watch the individual member guides. And we already have speculations for each other on like who we think the other person's bias is going to be based on the guides though. So that will probably, maybe, change after we react to their title tracks. Very excited.
Very exciting.
Let's go?
Let's go.
Oh.
Oh, that's a really interesting start.
Oh, the beat. Okay. The beginning of the song threw me off from what the actual phrasing is. That was really interesting though. Because the beginning is counting it in like 6/8 or 3/4, and then now it's 4/4. That's the part we saw in the guide. Oh my god! Do you have braces?
Yeah, I knew that's what you noticed.
Wait! Peyton, you are extremely silent right now. And I was like, oh, this is so quiet.
Now I feel the pressure to say something.
No, sorry. I just said, don't feel pressure. Sorry. This is very...
I like have thoughts, but there are things like I want to see the full dance before I like make speculation.
I can't read what the mirror says.
It's so sharp.
Yeah. Yeah. The way that the beat is like changes is very interesting.
I told Anna this basically as soon as we were done filming because I wasn't sure if I should say it during my comments or not, and I'm sorry, I was so quiet, but I was just so focused. I was like, Wow. Honestly, I'm kind of disappointed more of them weren't wearing shorts because I was really looking forward to that since we'd seen it in the, since we'd seen it in the guide and like there's a lot of hype around it. I think it's a great look. I think it's very eye-catching, but also after seeing the music video choreography and then watching the dance practice itself, so much of the dance is made to kind of show off like masculinity, like show off strength and power. And the shorts really highlight that. It basically shows muscle contraction better in the shorts because you can actually see their muscles instead of it being hidden by pants. And so much of the dance is meant to like show that sort of power. So I was like, why are they not dressed like it in the music video? I'm disappointed. But I had a feeling after watching it, the style itself felt kind of familiar, and I was like, I wonder if they worked with the 1 Million Dance Studio choreographers, because like we know from the guide that they've featured in some of their videos before, and they did, and it was 2 of my favorite 1 Million choreographers, Leah Kim and Kusong Jung choreographed this, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love their collaborations, and it made so much sense because of the style in it, but it's so powerful, and so many of their dances are like very power driven. But so a couple of things like specifically about the dance, the intro is really cool, and I said that when we first started, I was like, oh, it's an interesting picture, because the starting formation, they're at like 3 very distinctive levels, and then in the actual dance it kind of like almost looks like it expands and then shrinks back down. That's a very interesting way to start a dance, because the fact that there are so many different poses, different levels, really draws your eye into it and makes you focus a little bit more than if everyone's just standing or everyone's sitting or everyone's at the same level. It kind of catches your attention right from the very beginning. But also the dance itself, so much of it is so sharp. And I said that when we were watching the finale dance break, but it's not just that it's sharp, it's super fast. And that's like, you have to be super precise and really control your energy very well because they're hitting everything so quickly. And when I was watching the dance practice especially, it gets so fast at certain parts that it's almost hard to track the movements because it's like their lines start blurring because they're moving through things so fast. Like it's very quick, which is like super impressive. But also it made me think about how it's called cactus, and like a cactus is very prickly and like kind of hard to get close to, and a lot of the dance is kind of like that too, where like they're purposely like keeping a barrier or like pushing away and being like prickly. I mean, there's literally like pushing movements in the choreography, or there's moments where they're like extending and their hand will be like this, and your hand is like this rather than completely extended. You break your line and you make some sort of like barrier next to you. So it was very interesting. Like it's just little choices like that, but it wasn't totally sharp. There were a few softer moments that were a little bit like rounder, like the very beginning of the chorus. And that kind of reminded me of like how on cacti there often are like little flowers or something, like a little beautiful point. And I think they mentioned that in the song too. They do? Okay, I was like, I think I remember hearing that in the song. So like it was just this very like beautiful mix of the two. So I really, really enjoyed it. That's why I was so quiet. Anna's turn.
First off, to clarify something, in the reaction, I was like feeling the beat in 6/8 or 3/4. Yeah, I did not mean to say 3/4. I only meant to say 6/8, but the 3/4 just came out. And that's part of the reason why I was so confused in the beginning of the song by the beat. Because the intro, like spoken thing that you hear, because there's like that wind up, build up sort of sound, and then the spoken part, and you feel that in 4/4. But then all of a sudden, when the music actually starts playing, it's doing the and I'm like, this feels like 6/8. What's going on? But then after that section, they start playing the bass and it hits every single beat. So I'm like, oh, this is actually in 4/4 time. So that was just like really confusing in the beginning. The reason why you're able to feel portions of the song in 6/8 when it is in 4/4 time signature is because like the is just triplets. And speaking about that line that I'm mentioning, the reason why it was so much easier for me to figure out the key signature of this song compared to other songs is because that line is outlining the key that this is in. This is in B flat minor. So I'm gonna say this in do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, like in the solfege for a scale, but when you're in minor, mi goes to me. So it's playing do, me, sol, me, re, do. So I'm like, great, I know what key the song is in. And that comes in and out of the song the entire time. But like they have a lot of things like that. Not just the line that I'm talking about, but like they have the bass that comes in on 1, 2, 3, 4, hitting really hard, especially in the chorus. And just a lot of different synths and layers. And it's interesting because you were saying like they have the moments in the dance that's like really fast, really hard hitting, which is like the triplets that make it feel like 6/8 and like all the electronic layers. But then in the dance there are like softer, smoother moments, and then that immediately made me think in the music when that part where they go like so da, 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 or whatever. It like that's a whole smooth thing, and they really like drag that out when they're like going across with the, you can't see it on camera with like the like that. There's still a lot of noise happening because there's not really silence in the song, but the rhythm is the complete opposite, and it's actually like very melodic, so it balances out, so I don't feel as overwhelmed. But to be completely honest, because of all the like electronic sounds and everything, it was difficult for me to focus on their voices. There's so much happening in the background that it's distracting, and it's hard for me to focus on like anything else much, to be honest. And also, one thing that I really noticed was like there's no high note climax point for this song, which is really interesting. There are times when that happens in a K-pop title track, but it's usually like a more acoustic R&B song. But when it's like a heavy, like electronic dance song like this, there's usually going to be like that climax high note. So I was thinking about it during a break, and I was like, From what I remember of the guide, they said that Ace's music style is very like electronic. My reaction to this kind of made me think of like psytrance music, and I'm not super familiar with that genre, but like the effect of just like being pulled in, your mind kind of goes numb, and that's what I kind of felt watching this and listening to this for the first time. So it's just really interesting. Okay, I'm done now.
Do you want a TLDR or do you want me to do it?
I think you should TLDR.
I should do it? Okay. So TLDR for today's video, episode 2 of our Getting to Know Ace series is now coming to a close, and we have officially watched one of their music videos, and I think we both enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it? It was very interesting. I really don't know what else to say because I didn't really know what to expect.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear a more vocal heavy song in the future though. But that being said, if you enjoyed this reaction and are excited for the rest of our series, then please leave a like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell,
Ding!
and bye!